Now, to a major update to an I-Team exclusive. Validation for a family from Long Island seeking justice for a wife and mom murdered at a Club Med in Turks and Caicos. A jury has now ruled that her death was indeed a homicide. Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace has been covering the bizarre twist in this case since the beginning, and she joins us now in studio. Sarah.
Well, Adam, this whole story is surreal. Why would anyone want their loved one's death to be labeled a homicide? Because it holds people accountable. And in this case, the family was concerned that Club Med and Island police were trying to make a crime go away. When a disgusted Marie Kuhnla Jr. left Turks and Caicos in early June to return to the U.S., he believed his mother Marie would never get justice in that overseas British territory.
It's just horrible, and it's just egregious that anybody who looks at the facts can see clearly that this is a perversion of justice.
Marie's son and the family's legal representatives came to monitor an unprecedented coroner's inquest that the government ordered into Marie's death 3.5 years after her bloodied and bruised body was found off a sandy road on the Club Med Turquoise property. The 62-year-old had been on a getaway trip to the island paradise with 2 fellow attorneys from Suffolk County Legal Aid. They told me they've never gotten over the trauma.
It was just like a bad dream. It was like it wasn't real.
Marie's husband claims they were stonewalled by island police from the start.
They just wanted to sweep it under the rug.
The government's own medical examiner initially ruled that Marie died of manual strangulation, a homicide. But in 2019, the island's lead detective came to Long Island. In this meeting recorded by the family's team, he seemed to be trying to convince them Marie wasn't murdered.
I have reasons to believe that it's not a homicide.
Were the police hoping the family would go away? They didn't. Instead, they filed a $10 million wrongful death lawsuit against Club Med. The government refused to turn over the autopsy report until late last year. It showed bruising and abrasions, a fractured rib, and notes underwear is worn inside out. In the middle of civil court depositions earlier this year, the government announced it would be holding a hearing to re-examine how Marie died. We were there as the island's contracted medical examiner, Dr. Michael Steckbauer, defended his ruling of manual strangulation, challenged in court by attorneys for Club Med and island police.
I was blown away by the fact that you have a corporate entity working in conjunction with the government entity of the police department, and that they were actively on the same page trying to discredit a medical examiner that the government in Turks and Caicos hired.
Steckbauer also testified Marie's body was badly decomposed at the morgue by the time he first saw her. Then, in a stunning twist, toward the end of the inquest, the government released a lab report indicating police suspected foul play early on. Multiple samples from Marie were tested, one indicating seminal fluid in her underwear.
That's indicative that there was a sexual assault.
And there was blood on most of her clothing. Bloody items also removed from another guest's room, but usable DNA not found. The ME testified he believed the body had been placed under a heat exhaust fan.
When a body decomposes, the DNA also decomposes, and it destroys evidence that was necessary to make a positive conclusion of who murdered this woman.
A jury today confirming the ruling of manual strangulation and homicide. Marie's son.
I was shaking. I didn't know which way it was going to go, but it said that it's, not giving up is the right thing, that my mom she was an amazing person. She's worth fighting for.
The family says they will fight until there's an arrest, and they want a criminal investigation into whether Marie's body was deliberately mishandled to hide forensic evidence. No comment from island police, but a Club Med spokesperson did tell us, quote, "The safety, security, and well-being of all of our guests remain our highest priority. We are continuing to cooperate and cannot comment any further on the litigation."